Monday, April 22nd, 2019, Maneco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. This morning I want to look at the technical picture for gold and silver, and also at the commitment of traders report from the CFTC that was published late last week, and it's for the period running up until Tuesday last week. And yeah, I think something interesting happened in this latest report. So I just want to look at that and the technical picture and see what it might mean for the price of gold going forward. Before that, I'm going to look at what the markets are doing this morning. So it's around 7:30 a.m. London. US markets are back up and running today, later on. So are the markets in Canada. In Europe, I think a lot of countries are not in today. It's a bank holiday here in the UK, but there will be people manning the desks, I would say, in the city of London. So where are we this morning? We've got spot gold, $1278.25, up $2.60. The range has been $12.75 to $12.80, roughly. Silver is above $15. It's up 5 cents at $15.05. Range has been $14.97 to $15.09. The Dow future is down 49 points, 26,529, down 0.2%. S&P is down 6.3, or 0.22% at 2,900.75. NASDAQ 100 futures down 25, or 1/3%. So stock market is a little weaker this morning. Currencies are fairly steady. The pound is unchanged, 129.94, just below 130. Euro 112.41, down 1 pip, so not much going on there. Dollar yen down 3 pips, so virtually unchanged as well, 111.90. The dollar is up 0.16% against the Chinese yuan at 671.18. Crude oil is very strong this morning, actually. We've got WTI up $1.39. That's over 2%. So that's a big move in crude oil. Brent as well is up 2.35% at 73.20. So that's an interesting development there. US 10-year yield is up 1.4 basis points at 257. So that's the 10-year. So bond prices are a little lower. So now I want to look at gold, the COT report, and what the commercials are doing. I have in the past looked a little bit at this. Historically, it's not something I look too much into, but there are a lot of people who look at it, especially because of the fact that the bullion banks, who are commercials, control the price of gold for now through the COMEX, the futures, and also through the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, which is basically the FX market based out of London, which is supplied paper gold or physical gold through the Bank of England. The Bank of England is the supplier of bullion at the LBMA, even though it's not part of the LBMA. Yeah, a lot of people look for movements in this COT report, the open interest. So open interest is just the total amount of positions that there are in the futures market. So for example, here, in the latest report for gold, the total open interest is 440,581 lots. Each of these is 100, controls 100 troy ounces of gold. Of course, we know that COMEX is really not a physical market. People rarely take delivery there of the metal. Commercials, of course, are the bullion banks, and yes, they have control of the market. You know, they play around with the speculators, the hedge funds. You know, they're good at this. They've been doing it for decades. So a lot of people wait for this report, late on, I think it comes out late on Friday, I think, or Thursday, I'm not sure. I forgot now, but after the market closes. But it's for the report, it's for the period ending Tuesday last week. So if you look here, commercial gold, Commodity Exchange Inc. or COMEX, futures only positions. This is only in the futures, not options. And it says the change in this up to this period, long, they've added 13,224 contracts, long, the commercials. And shorts, minus 41,155. So that means they've covered their shorts by 41,115, and they've added 13,224 longs. So net, they've gone long 54,300 contracts, roughly. And that's quite significant. So does that mean that gold is now going to go through the moon? Is that what I'm trying to say? No, I'm trying to say that we need to keep an eye on this. We need to see what happens this week with the COT report and see if this trend continues. It could mean that we might have seen a bottom in gold, in the gold price. The same thing applies for silver. You can see here total open interest in silver is not as big as gold. It's roughly half of it. So, but commercials also, they've increased actually their shorts by 1,361, but they've increased their longs by a lot more, 15,451. So net, they've gone long as well, about 14,000 contracts. So let's have a look at what the charts are looking like for gold. So I've been talking about this falling wedge. As you can see here with where we are today, we're hugging the lower line of this falling wedge. Falling wedge is like a consolidation in a trend. So the trend since August last year has been upward in gold. And now we've had a consolidation since the middle of February. Usually this means that a falling wedge means a consolidation, and that after the consolidation, the market should resume its previous trend, i.e. it should go higher. We need to break, of course, the top of that falling wedge. Right now, like this week, this is a weekly chart, it's just above 1297. So if we get above 1300 this week, it's very positive. But as you can see, we could keep going lower on this falling wedge. The apex is further down. We'll have to see. So that's the technical picture there. We may be forming a bottom in gold. We need to wait and see what happens in the next COT report that will be published later on this week. Quickly, silver, you know, we've been looking at this chart for a while now, this weekly chart. We broke out, tried to break out late last year. It was like a false breakout, came back out, came back down below that trend line, and then middle of January roughly it broke out, and yeah, it's been they've been able to keep it down here. Is this a bottom for silver as well? We don't know. I mean, we just need to wait and see. That's the thing with technical analysis. But fundamentally, I would say, and I'll go quickly through this, we all know that in this present day, the monetary arrangements for the world are purely based on a debt-based fiat currency system. And the only way to keep the system running and inflating is for more government debt to be created. Paying off government debt, paying off debt is a bad thing for the system. So the money is debt, and it needs to be kept increasing. And the more money there is, and the faster it grows, that means precious metals should hold its purchasing power, while fiat currencies that we have today, dollar especially, should lose purchasing power. Nothing better shows this fact than the budget balances for the major countries. And I've taken this week's, the latest Economist economic and financial indicators, and I've taken a picture of it here, and I've put it here in the video. You can see the United States is running budget balance or deficit of 4.9% for 2019. China 4.5%. Japan 3.4%. You can see that there's a lot of pink or red here. There's only a few countries that are running a surplus. One of those is Germany at 0.8%. The Netherlands as well. Czech Republic, Denmark, Norway, Russia, Sweden, Switzerland, Hong Kong, and South Korea. The US growth is on borrowed time. It's all because of the deficits the US is running, the US government. And that's going to continue. And that should be positive for gold and silver going forward. I don't mean that this week or next week, but over the long run. There you go. COT report looking pretty good. Technical picture hasn't changed. We're still in that falling wedge in gold. Silver is still hugging that trend line, even though it's still above it. Fundamental picture, red ink all over, except for a few countries out there. So we stick to our guns, I would say. Those of us who believe in sound money, believe that gold and silver will protect us over time. The purchasing power of our savings. Nothing's changed. If anything, it could get worse in terms of debt increase, in terms of budget deficits, especially if the economies of the world come to a screeching halt, as it looks like they might. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Also, make sure you hit the little notification bell above to be notified of my new videos. You can also follow me on Twitter, Steemit, and on DTube. I wish you all a great day. Take care. Bye.